Hey guys, it is What If Senpai here. I am back with another video. What if Naruto was, well, not what if Naruto, God of Shinobi, part 2, or chapter 2, probably part 1, actually. We left off at Hinata, right? Yeah, we left at Hinata returning from Mount Miyaboku. So, today is, special day. I have some things to tell you. First, if you don't want to hear this at all, like I did in another video, please skip to end. And when you hear my voice say end, that's when it's finished. But before you do that, please wait there for a bit. So please go and check my Instagram. It's on the screen right now. If you don't see it, please go, because you'll be getting like spoilers and abilities, so you don't actually have to say it on YouTube. And you could just like get in, and if you those type of people. Now, to clear stuff up, um yeah, hold up. So, I'm gonna change some stuff up. The Senju's Kekkei Genkai is mud release, because the original thing, if you mix water and earth, you get mud. But in Naruto, you get earth. I mean, like trees. Or wood release. Whatever you want to say it. So, the Kekkei Genkai of the Senju clan is, mud release, but the evolved form of mud release is wood release. It's like the Mangekyo Sharingan, but you cannot use like wood release. You can't use mud release if you had wood release. You can't use mud release. You can't use wood style if you have mud release. That's how it goes. So, if without any further ado, let me play that intro, and yeah, let's get into the video. So, location, Rice Country. Place, apartment in Rice Country. You see Naruto on the bed, with his lying on the bed, with a pillow on his head. Naruto then closes his eyes and ventures off into his mindscape. He gets in there and he sees the Kyuubi. The Kyuubi. Yes, Naruto, Kyuubi says. Naruto POV. Naruto was thinking for the last few days or months, why now his Sharingan and his wood style started to appear. Naruto had went through a lot of stuff in his life. He knew how the Sharingan worked and how it activated. If it was to be on that basis, he should have activated the Sharingan years ago. So Naruto went to the Kyuubi, because the person that knew him longest was the Kyuubi. He then ventured off into his mindscape and sees Kurama. Kurama. And he asked him why. Kurama's POV. Well, Naruto, you see, when you were a baby, the council knew that you were an Uchiha. They didn't know you were a Senju, but they know you were a Uchiha. They wanted to take that power away from you, but they couldn't. So what they did, sorry guys. So what they did was they just take away your your Uchiha cells by sealing it away by a very high skilled master of stealing jutsu. He's not as good as Jiraiya, but he's good. Naruto was in shock. He was angry, but in shock. But then Kurama didn't laugh, well chuckled. Ha ha ha, QB said. But it was on their mistake. You see, in doing so, they also made you one of the most strongest people on earth. Because your genes were sealed, they recovered rapidly because they had anywhere to go. They were trapped in the seal, so it all burst out at one time. So there was millions of cells accumulating over the years. So when it spread into your body, it made your body mature, it made you stronger, it gave you more power than you naturally should have. Naruto was shocked. They also took something away from him, but also gave him something too. Naruto then exited the Metscape. No, he first said thank you to the QB and then exited the Metscape. Sorry. So, Naruto then got up from his bed. Then he saw a letter he saw a bird coming through the window and placed the letter on his desk. Naruto was surprised to see it nonetheless, because it was common knowledge where he was, but no person would dare to come to even talk to him. Now, flashback. Naruto was in a fight with 1,000 Earth shinobi and Cloud shinobi, and he defeated them all. Sure, he had a lot of injuries after, but he still defeated them. It took a whole day to finish it, but I finally got back the girl. Jesus. Sorry guys. Poor damn editing. I'm not editing, so so Naruto, the mission was that Naruto was supposed to get a girl from Iwa and Cloud, Iwa and Kumo, because they kidnapped the girl, the samurai's daughter. They kidnapped her, but Naruto came to save her, and he saved her, and he gained his name, the Eye of the Tree. Konoha's Tree Eye, or Eye of the Tree. Konoha's Eye Tree. That's in reference to Naruto's Sharingan and his wood style. So when Naruto back to present. When Naruto saw the letter, he was surprised. Naruto's POV. He picked up the letter and it read, "Hi, Lord Uzumaki Senju. My name is Kuto Senju. And we've noticed that you're the son of Tsunade and the grandson of Tsunade, and we would like to return back to the village. You see, a long time ago, when the Nine Tails attacked, it was an Uchiha who genjutsu the fox to do whatever it did. But we realized that he was aiming to kill us, so we fled the village and never came back, because we thought the village was cinders. But then when we realized that your name is Naruto Uzumaki Senju, we realized that it was you, and we would like to come back to the village. We are in every village that we have went to, they've always pushed us away. And or either wanted us for our power. So we all decided to go in a group and travel. But when we saw that you were so strong and you've been given that name, we were sure that we can trust the leaf again. Naruto was shocked because it had a Uzumaki crest and a drip of blood, so which was noticing that he could trust them to show that they were Senju and Uzumakis. Naruto was shocked. That means all two of his clans were still there. Naruto was happy to see nonetheless. He then wrote back, "Yeah, sure, but it'll take a while for me to get there, a year or two. So please go to the old Uzumaki town, and I will come there to escort you to Konoha. Konoha Gekure." Naruto then showed this to Jiraiya. Jiraiya then tested the blood, and it was the exact person that was on the letter. Jiraiya was shocked to say nonetheless, because he thought all the Uzumaki and Senju died, but apparently they didn't. They just fled the village. Naruto was happy, but he still had training to do. Naruto then realized that his fan was a very dangerous weapon. So what he did was he'd been learning gravity seals, and he figured out a way to make sure that no one can hold his fan upset his bloodline or someone that has his blood or who he places the blood in the seal. Naruto then bit his thumb. Then he waved some hand signs, and then he pressed it on the fan. Kanji of a big kanji of gravity appeared on the fan, and then spread out all around the fan, and then came back into a point and went invisible. Now Naruto needed to test it. He gave the fan to Jiraiya, and as Jiraiya touched the fan, Jiraiya fell to the ground. Naruto, then a crater started to appear because of the pressure that was going down to the ground when Jiraiya touched the fan. Naruto then picked it back up, and it was late as ever. Naruto said it was a success. Naruto placed the gravity seals on the fan to make sure that no one would pick it up if it's not from his bloodline. So people like his kids. His father couldn't hold it, his grandfather couldn't hold it, no one put it up. But his kids and further on descendants of him could wield the fan. So Naruto placed the fan on his back and went on his way. Area, Konoha. Place, Uzumaki clan compound. Hinata just woke up from her sleep. It's been a few months after she went to Mount Miyaboku to learn Sage Mode. She successfully mastered Sage Mode and able to use Fall Kumite. Today Tsunade was announcing something. She didn't know what, but everyone had to be in town square. So she put on her clothes, her jonin flat jacket with a white and purple coat with black boot pants and a katana strapped to her back and daggers a dagger on the side of her leg. She then left. The town square. She then saw the Konoha 11 or 12, I don't know, Konoha 9 and Arikina. I can't remember. So she saw them, but she didn't go over there. You see, Konoha, the Reki 9 or Konoha 9 or Konoha 12 have been a little distant from each other. After the whole incident with Sakura, everybody's been ruckus with her. They don't know if to hate Sakura, to like Sakura, or completely ignore her. Or Sasuke, because Sasuke left on his free will and Naruto's being a little blamed for it. Then Tsunade said, "Silence." And then the whole crowd that was murmuring silenced. Tsunade then said, "I have an announcement to make." It is about Arjun Trinity, Naruto Uzumaki. That got everyone's attention. Everybody knew Naruto Uzumaki, especially because they hated him. They didn't for the Kyuubi. They didn't hate Naruto personally. They hate what was sealed inside him. So everyone was intrigued. Tsunade then says, Naruto Uzumaki, he is my grandson. He's the son of Yodame and Kushina Uzumaki. Everyone was shocked to say nonetheless. Naruto was the 5th Hokage's grandson and the 4th Hokage's son. Everyone was shocked to say that nonetheless. And everybody was common knowledge that Minato was an Uchiha. But it was also common knowledge that Minato didn't like the Uchiha. He possibly said it, but he would never treat them wrongly or unfair them. But he never really wanted to assert himself with the Uchiha. Madara explained to Minato that the Uchiha are very corrupted people. They're very bad. And Madara basically said, I'm bad too. But I don't want you to go down that curse of hatred that I went through. Because if you do, the only thing at the end of it would be pain. I know that my end of my path is pain. I'm not going to try to change it now because I'm gone so far. But Minato, I don't want you to be anything like me. So Minato doesn't have a grudge against the Uchiha, but he knows how the Uchiha are, since he is one now. So Minato was really known to be an Uchiha. So now everybody knows that Naruto was an Uchiha too. Now, being a Senju was different. No one knew that. And then he was also the great grandson of the Yandame, not the Yandame, the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama. He was also the great grandnephew of the second Hokage. That's one hell of a lineage. Everyone is shocked. And it was also common knowledge that Hinata is in a relationship with Naruto, and people didn't dislike her for that, but they couldn't say they were 100% okay with it. And time skip. A few days after that, Hinata was being called Miss Uzumaki or Lady Uzumaki from everyone, and she was given like general smiles and waves from everyone. She never got this attention, but she didn't mind it either. But she would never let it go to her head though. She already knew Naruto's lineage, but she was on her way to do something. She then appeared into the entrance of the Hokage office. She entered and she saw Sakura, but she didn't acknowledge that her existence was there. She went straight to Tsunade and said, "Hi, Lady Tsunade. I want to learn under you because I want to get stronger. Since I don't have my clan to hold me back, to tell me not to do this, I would like to train under you, Lady Tsunade." Tsunade was happy nonetheless. Tsunade always wanted a Hyuga apprentice because they can see where other people couldn't, but the Senju, the Hyuga wouldn't allow that. So it was a hard thing to get. But since Hinata left her clan and she was not able to put the cage bird seal on her and was given the cage bird seal, but Sura found a way to remove it because of Naruto's parents having a seal to remove them, she was well set. And none to say, Hiyashi was mad about it, because first, she found a way how to get rid of the cage bird seal, and she can't even control his own daughter anymore. But, win some, you lose some, in his mind. Tsunade said yes, and told her that her training will start tomorrow. Hinata then left and went on her way. She then went back to the Uzumaki compound and placed her stuff down and went to sleep. Naruto's POV. He's been training for a long time. Naruto can beat Jiraiya completely in his base form without doing anything. He doesn't have to go in Sage mode, KCM, or KC1 or KCM2. He's pretty good. And he doesn't even have to use his wood star for it. But he has to use his Sharingan because, let's face it, it's Jiraiya. Jiraiya actually mastered Sage mode in this one. He made sure he did because he didn't want his student to outdo him again. So Naruto has learned how to use his fan in combination of his fire jutsu and he's become a fire specialist. He also have gotten great progress with the Shikyu Fujin, which is Flying Thunder Guard if you didn't know what that was. He's also gained, he's a Seal Master and knows all 5 chakra natures. 5 chakra changes nature and 5 chakra natures. He also knows the Rasen Shidori because he's seen Kakashi use the Shidori before and he just copied what he saw. The Rasen Shidori is like a Rasengan, but it has a lightning ring around it, with lightning spouting from the rings and hitting the ground, and sometimes damaging it. It can pierce through your heart, and it can also completely obliterate your body. But that's in higher stages, if Naruto puts a little bit more chakra into it. But hey, it can also sting you in place, and disable you from moving for a day. He also knows the fireball Rasengan. It just, when you hit someone, it just a huge fire hits you, and it also can burn you to cinders, or it could also hurt you to the point where you're unrecognizable. That's no win-win situation. He also knows the Rasen, the wind style Rasen Shuriken, while the small version and the big version. He also knows the earth style Earth Rasengan. While the earth style Earth Rasengan is not the way you think it would be. It's not heavy. It just, when you hit it on the ground, a earth dome would appear around you. It's more or less for trapping people, not for like defense or anything. But hey, Naruto also knows the water Rasengan, water ball Rasengan. It can shoot started spikes of water to you like water Senbon, and it can also trap you in a water bubble jutsu. Not a water bubble jutsu. Yeah, water bubble jutsu. It's what Zabuza used on Kakashi. Naruto's learned all of that. Also known Sage Mode. And I'm gonna call it Monk Toad Sage Mode. Convenient. Sorry. I'm gonna have to turn off my notifications, I swear to God. Naruto didn't go off. It's been 2 years now. Naruto's renowned around the world as one of the strongest ninja. He's actually being called God of Shinobi already, hence the title of the, well, what if? He's being called the God of Shinobi. And he's been called the God of Shinobi. The pride of the Uzumaki clan, the pride of the Senju clan. He's even been called the Golden Fox. I've read the fanfic Golden Fox, and it's pretty good read. You should read it. But all in all, do what you want. But Naruto's POV. Naruto's been walking around, and he wanted to cross this boy, a boy with black hair and sharp teeth, around Konohamaru's age, with a sword on his back, on his hand, not his back. He was very beaten up, bruised, and hurt. Naruto picked up the boy, and he started nurturing back to health. Jiraiya had left for a month for research purposes, and also to gather info on the Akatsuki. So Naruto was left alone for a month. Naruto realized that this boy was Zabuza's little brother. You see, Zabuza had a little brother in this way. He left him at the Mist Village, but he also left because they were hunting him down. He's recently been attacked, and he defended himself, but they thought he died and they just left. Naruto realized this was Zabuza's brother by testing his blood, by using a seal that he created to test people's bloodline, to see where they came from. Naruto then picked up the boy, and he nurtured him back to health and asked him his name. He says he was Kato Momuza. Kato Momuza. Momochi. Kato Momochi. Naruto then asked him if he was a brother of Zabuza. He said yes, and Naruto then got a sad look in his eye. Naruto said, I knew Zabuza. Actually, he's the inspiration for me. He's the person that made my ninja way, my nindo. To never give up. And never to go back on my word. Let me tell you what, I'll train you, kid. You know what? I kinda adopt you, but I won't adopt you. Don't get your tongue in a twist. Let's say Kato has a Ikegai Genkai. Well, he explained to Naruto. He said he's the Ice Duck Genkai, but he didn't get it inherently. Haku gave him her blood, and it slowly mixed in with his blood as a baby. So he became a Yuki, but he's not Yuki. That's hence his black hair. But Zabuza had brown hair, I think. And Naruto nodded at this. So Naruto then left and went on his way. He carried him and trained him on water style ninjutsu, water dragon, water prison, water vortex, and water wave, wind style, wind gale palm, wind strike, and wind blade. He also taught him the ice mirrors and the dome of nothingness, the ice dome of nothingness, and air suppression, where he spreads out his chakra in the air and makes it harder to breathe for others, using the cold as his using the cold. Naruto then went to the village hidden, well, not the village hidden, the land of waves, the village of waves, which is called now because it's pretty well off now. Naruto went there to pick up Zabuza's sword. Zabuza's sword. He then gave it to Kato. Kato was crying to see his brother's grave. Naruto that also dug out Zabuza and Haku. He then placed their bodies in a scroll, and then he put it in his backpack. He was gonna do something special with these. He then left and went back to where Jiraiya was. Jiraiya saw the boy and was weird. But when he saw the sword that was on his back, and let's say the executioner blade has another ability. It can fit to its wearer, but it's still big. So when Kato touched the executioner blade, it turned smaller and more easier for him to handle, but it still needs the physical strength for Zabuza to do so. But Kato also got that from Naruto. So Naruto then left to the Whirlpool Village, or Akagekure, not Akagekure, Utogekure no Sato, which is the village hidden in the whirlpools, if you didn't know that. Naruto then reached there, and he saw the abundance. He saw two signs, a Senju flag and Uzumaki flag on two different sides. Naruto then made shadow clones. All shadow clones had a scroll in their hand, because Naruto was planning on this. Naruto then went to each and every one of the huts or camps that were there, and asked them to place the blood on the scroll. Everyone just placed their blood on the scroll, and then a bunch of pictures and lines appeared. Then Naruto brought back all the scrolls, and then Naruto placed all of it into one big scroll. And then it showed everyone's family line. So Naruto wanted to separate everyone into a family line so it would be easier for everyone to live. So there would be different sections of the clan. Uzumaki and Senju clan, by Naruto's request, was also mixed together. By Tsunade didn't know why, but she told Naruto okay, and Naruto also did so. Naruto then gave each and every one of them books on the history of the shinobi and the history of Hashirama Senju. They had a year, and Naruto explained that they have a year to get to the point of at least Chunin level. Naruto then showed them everyone the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Everyone got it down well fast and started to learn. All the Uzumaki started to learn their sealing chains and sealing jutsu. The Senjus on their hand started to learn mud style. They also learned jutsu like mud whip, mud web, mud entanglement, mud draining jutsu, or mud capturing. The way mud style works is you can spew mud on the persons and it will harden. You can also take chakra like how the wood style does it, but it cannot absorb QB chakra. It can absorb chakra too. It can absorb chakra though. They then learned a mud clone and other stuff like that. Every one of the Senju and Uzumaki clan has now had gained Chunin, and some even got Jonin level. Naruto then waved some hand signs, and a big wooden ship appeared in between two whirlpools. Everyone then got on the ship and set sail for Konoha. Time skip. Hinata was waiting at the gate because she got a previous message that Naruto was coming back today. It's been 3 years from when Naruto left until he came back. No, the Katsuki has not moved to do anything yet because of plot convenience. I'm sorry. That's all I have right now. Plot convenience. So she can see in a distance a person with a forest green styled Senju armor with a fan on his back, with Maruo's great fan on his back, and on the back of his back there was Uzumaki swirl, but on the shoulder he had, on the chest plate, it had the symbol for Jonin. He also wore a headband around on his forehead, and also could see a legion of people behind him. She also saw a white man with red markings on his face, a white long-haired man with markings on his face with a green and red outfit. She knew this was Jiraiya, and she also knew the other one was Naruto, but she didn't know the people that was behind him. Tsunade and most of the village were also there. They were waiting on the son of the hero and the son of Hokages, the descendant of Hokages, as everyone called him, because he had so much Hokages in his line. It was kind of weird not to express that way. They then saw that there were two flags. One was an Uzumaki flag, and one was a Senju flag. They also saw very legion of black and red-haired people. When they saw these flags and saw the signs on them, they instantly knew what they were. Those were the Uzumaki and Senju clans. Everyone was shocked. Naturally, no one ever knew what happened to the Senju clan. Actually, it just one of them disappeared one day. And the Uzumaki clan was spoken to be annihilated. But apparently, they're not. But that's why I'm going to leave off the story, guys. That's why I'm going to leave off the story. I am finished with this one. And wait for part 3 tomorrow. But hey, I had fun with this one. So yeah, bye guys.